There are two kinds of lawyers, gentlemen. There are my kind, and there are parasites on society. My kind of lawyer is going to be a social engineer. My kind of lawyer is going to be a fighter for social change. My kind of lawyer is going to find out everything there is to know about Plessy, because Plessy is a dragon, gentlemen. And my kind of lawyer is going to go out and slay it. That's why you're here, Mr. Marshall. Or it had better be. And if it's not, you'd better pack up and leave right now, because you will not make it. I want each one of you to take a look to your right.
What?
Now look to your left.
What's going on?
In 3 years, 2 of you won't be here. I notice that some of you are sporting men. Well, those are your odds.
He called you a parasite?
Yeah!
And what did you do to deserve that?
Nothing. They only caught me shooting craps.
Thurgood, your mother sold her engagement ring so you could go to Howard. Don't you go messing around like you did in college.
Buster, honey, I did well in college.
Yeah, finally, after almost getting kicked out.
Thurgood, like the rest of us, got the message. Had to. From the start, Dean Houston had us up and arguing the ins and outs of segregation cases, especially Plessy.
Now, the accommodations in the Negro car are the same as those in the whites-only car. They are separate, but they are equal.
Well, no objective observer would call those accommodations equal, Your Honor. But that's not the point. My client, Mr. Homer Plessy, preferred to sit in the car designated whites only and was arrested in violation of his constitutional rights.
His client, Homer Plessy, purposely broke the laws of the state of Louisiana.
But that law requires whites to sit in one car, Negroes to sit in another. That's discriminatory. It violates the 14th Amendment to the Constitution.
Mr. Hill, refresh my memory. Tell me exactly what the 14th Amendment says.
Exactly?
Well, since your entire case rests upon it, I don't think that's unreasonable.
No state shall make or enforce any law which abridges the privileges of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deny to any person the equal protection of the law.
Okay, counsel. What does the 14th Amendment have to say about the segregation law that Mr. Plessy broke?
The 14th Amendment says that the state of Louisiana can't legislate away the rights and privileges given him by the federal government.
And just what rights are we talking about?
The right to be treated the same as any other person. Not as a second-class citizen, a social...
Parasite. I mean social inferior. Look, under the 14th Amendment, the law can't deprive us of freedoms other people have, I mean, you know, simply because we're Negroes. Well, can it?
No, now, the Supreme Court ruled 8-1 that they can keep you from going places white people can go. Racially separate facilities may be maintained by the states as long as they are equal. Segregation is not discrimination.
So, everybody's equal, but Negroes can be treated like outcasts. I mean, that's
The Supreme Court said that the guarantee of equality has limits. It does not require social equality.
But I don't see how that comes from the 14th Amendment, Dean Houston.
Oh, they said that was self-evident.
self-evident. What, that white people are more equal than Negroes?
Well, the courts thought that was all in your mind, Mr. Marshall. And I quote, "The assumption that enforced separation stamps the colored race with a badge of inferiority," they said, "is solely because the colored race chooses to put that construction upon it."
We chose.
Easy, Mr. Marshall. Lose your temper, lose your case. For 35 years, the Supreme Court of the United States has resisted every attempt to overcome segregation by saying, "See, Plessy." Every attempt to overturn the last vestiges of the slave codes by saying, "See, Plessy." Every attempt to open that door just a little bit so that we can become the people that we know we can become by saying, "See, Plessy." If you survive here, gentlemen, you will join a handful of Negro lawyers in this whole country who have been rigorously trained. And with that distinction comes
becomes a truly enormous responsibility.
We have to change